All right, everybody, what's up? Just saying hi to everyone. Just kind of checking my bearings. You guys, if there's an issue, please let me know right away. So, welcome everybody. Today's going to be a very, very good stream. We're going to talk about some very important issues that I'm sure many of us are going to be facing very, very soon. So, today's date, what day is it even? I don't even follow. Because if you're in crypto, man, every day in the market is literally just another day, right? So it's February the 23rd. It's a Monday. Let me know if my volume is bad or anything. Thank you for joining me on a Monday. It's about 5 p.m. here in Istanbul, Turkey. Okay, guys. So for those that know me, my name's Phil. For those that don't, been here for about 11 years in the crypto game. I've seen pretty much every major bull market except for 2013's and every major bear market. Made a lot of money, lost a lot of money, learned a lot. And I think that every bull market that's upcoming is another opportunity to really prove to yourself who you are. And because of all the obstacles you've had to overcome, whether it be in your life or in crypto, right? You want to prove to yourself that you were better than the last cycle. And I think that we can all admit that in the 2024 year, it was probably everyone's worst year, despite doing very well in 2017, 2021. Like, I admit myself, 2017's chop right around here, that's what killed us. And this is where I really had to learn what a distribution phase was. And that's going to be the topic for basically this video today, the distribution phase, which is the phase that likely ends up liquidating the majority of people. So some sort of phase like this that ends up enduring for a long time. Okay, so I think that the bull market's over clearly, guys. And just to do a very quick recap on how the market has been trending. I know not everybody has an opportunity to follow crypto news every single day, but I'm gonna try to catch you guys up as soon as possible, okay? So the bull market goes something like this. It reaches a bottom, guys. Okay, it reaches a bottom and then it reaches the top. You know what? I hate showing this with the chart because it's easier to understand. I only show with the chart because people have an easier time to understand it. But let me show it from a better perspective called the ROI, okay? ROI after the cycle bottom. So if you look at this, by the way, shout out to Benjamin Cohen, is one of the only guys that I actually respect in crypto. There's not a lot of people that I respect in crypto being in the game for 11 years. You can kind of see through people many times. So this guy, this is his website, Into the Cryptoverse. A basic subscription goes for about, I think like $100 a month. I don't know. I think I pay $100 a month. Not because I need it, but because I support him and because they are very good charts that you wouldn't have access to otherwise. You can figure it out yourself, but it's easier here. So let's take a look at the market cycles. Okay, we're going to take a look specifically at the last two cycles. What you're going to notice is this, that in last two cycles, one in 2017 lasted 1,068 days, and the other one happened to last 1,000 and let me just double check. 1,059 days, or 1059 versus 1068. Okay, do you guys hear that? 1068 versus 1059. So we're talking about 9 days within the bull market ending from the bottom to the top. Like, that's got to be pretty wild, right, guys? But you know what would be more wild? If it happened the third year, right? Not only did it happen in 2017 and in 2021, but what if it happened in this bull market cycle too? And guess what? It actually did. Okay, so you can see here, these are when all three bull market years ended. And this one ended in 1062. So would you guys conclusively agree with me in every single way when I say that the bull market years have basically ended all three times within 10 days of each other? Yeah, you'd agree with me because it's irrefutable that I'm pointing this out. Now, another really interesting one is this, okay, the drawdown. Okay, the drawdown and also how many days it takes usually, okay? So the drawdown, of course, please remember that as the years go by and the market cap increases, okay, it's going to be more difficult to multiply your money. Do you guys think that it's easier for you to go from $10,000 to $20,000, or maybe like 10 million to 20 million? You know, it might be, you know, like when you think about it like that, or even higher, right? From like 2 billion to 20 billion, right? So as it gets higher and higher, it's going to be more difficult most of the times to multiply that market cap, right? Not only that, there's diminishing returns for both the ROI and also the drawdown. Remember that, okay? So the drawdown has diminishing returns because of adoption mainly, okay? Mainly adoption and regulation. So you're going to see here basically how much Bitcoin like ends up drawing down from the high. So you can see in the bear markets over here, you can see that they've drawn down over here like 84% was the bottom in 2015. I can't show you. I'll zoom in to show you. But right here is 84.67%. See that? Okay. So then the drawdown in 2019 is actually less. It actually gets down to 83% roughly, right? So it's getting kind of like less and less. So I would kind of anticipate that this one might be a little bit less too. Actually, let's check out 2023. Okay, so this one here gets to about 76%, okay, or 77 actually. So what I'm saying is that it went from like 85 to 84 to 77. So would it be safe to say, based off of the theory of diminishing returns, that we're probably not going to hit 77% again? Maybe 70%, maybe 65%, right? That sounds logical. And did you guys also know that the bear market also lasted the exact same time for both cycles? Okay, let's see if there's a chart that's going to show that here, Mr. Cohen. Do you have a chart that shows the bottom, like how long the bear market cycle lasted? I don't think he does, but I don't need one. I can also just show you here, right? I can show you that in 2017, it lasted actually exactly 365 days. I'm too lazy to zoom in, but you're gonna have to take my word for it. So it lasted exactly 365 days in the 2018 bear market. And then in 2022, it also did the exact same thing. So we can basically conclude that the bear markets are equivalent in length and the bull markets are just as equivalent in length. So I need to warn you guys firmly right now that your job is not to make a substantial amount of profit right now. Your job is to mitigate risk and not take on silly trades. I admit that I've been taking on probably some dumber trades, mainly because of boredom or maybe desperation to trade, who knows. Not for the profit mainly, just because I love trading, put it that way, right? But our goal right now should be preservation, to believe in the statistics and the history of Bitcoin and the past trend, because with the pattern that showed us in the past, there's a very high probability that it's going to happen again. Okay, even if it doesn't happen again, we have to play it out like it will happen, because it has happened every time thus far. So the last thing we would want to do is to ignore it, right? And then because we think it can't happen again, right? So you're going to probably regret it if something drastic happens and you didn't catch it. So just wild guess, guys. What if we just said it dropped like maybe 70%, right? 70% over 365 days. Well, that's exactly October the 6th. I just started mine earlier, but trust me, it's October the 6th. It's going to be around 35 to 45K. Under 45K, I'll probably start dollar cost averaging. Actually, probably under even, like, we'll see. At 50K, that's not that much of a drawdown yet. At 50K, it's only 60%. 45K is about 64%. I think under a 65% drawdown to up to a range of, like, you know, the previous one, which was 75%, roughly 74%, that's about maybe like a $32,000 to $45,000 Bitcoin price range. I think that'd be a pretty generous range, right? And then you basically are going to get a very easy repeat, right? There might be, like, you know, you might be buying at the wrong time, right? I remember buying at the wrong times over here, right? I was buying like even up there, man. I was buying there. But you know that like as the years go by, or the months and the days go by, right? Sorry, the days, not the years. The days and the weeks go by, it reaches a bottom. And there's only a few more capitulations until it does. And it's gonna happen, guys. So I care about the bear market, but I don't care about day trading it. I'm just gonna sit on the sidelines right now and focus on other things to either pass the time or something that's gonna contribute to the bull market, such as my mental well-being, my physical well-being, something to reduce stress, something like that, right? But what I do know is that I still want to put in the effort to look at the market every day. You might be able to find some good scalp opportunities, but please make sure that you are very strict about it. So today, guys, I'm bringing you here because we're literally entering one of the most dangerous phases of the market. Okay, the crash is not the most dangerous, okay? The pump part is not the most dangerous. It's the distribution phase, okay? And this is the phase where the newer traders, they're gonna give everything back and more. Or the newer traders are gonna take on kind of bad trades. So, guys, I think we can all agree, and I say this not for ego or anything, or recognition, but I think that I was fairly bearish for a good reason, right? And my main argument for the bearishness is simple, as it stands today. The main argument for the bearishness was summarized in basically one sentence. The technical charts did not align in any way with the fundamentals factoring it, right? So the fundamentals were very positive, but the charts did not reflect that in any way at all. So just because the fundamentals are positive, it means fuck all, because what TradingView is, what the charts are, what price action is, it tells the story, okay? It tells the greatest story. Let's just pretend there was a chart that represented somebody's wedding. Okay, somebody got married and this chart represents their wedding. This couple decides to tell everybody in the world that, guys, we had the best wedding ever, most romantic honeymoon, we never fought, everything. They tell one thing, but the chart actually just speaks the fucking truth. Okay, it doesn't give a fuck about what the couple tells people. The chart does the opposite of what the couple tells people. The chart instead, it starts describing their wedding or their honeymoon on the chart. And it just shows a shit ton of fucking red candles, man. The complete opposite of what they're saying. So which one's right? The truth sayer, right? That shows the representation through the charts, or the people with their mouth just lying about it, right? So you could have all of the fundamental factors in the world pointing bullishness, but if the charts are saying the opposite, then you're probably gonna want to trust the charts. And then there's that miraculous, like, you know, this one theory, it never stopped to blow my mind. And the theory goes like this, that crypto market is like a ticking time bomb just waiting to fucking launch, right? Because all the fundamental news was positive, but because the technicals were negative, it means that the technicals were lagging behind and they're eventually gonna catch up to all the fundamental news. That shit, honestly, it was pretty hilarious because it never happened, right? It was almost like saying like, you know, I see all the red flags, but I'm gonna choose to ignore them because it's gonna come around eventually. I just see it for what it is. Okay, guys, if you put an elephant in front of me and you ask me what it was, I'd probably tell you it's a fucking elephant. Right? I'm not going to tell you, oh, it looks like an elephant, but it could be a lion in an elephant's costume. Like, I'm not going to say that. It's better to just react as the data comes in rather than try to predict, right? So if you're going to see something so clear, why be in denial about it? Just like, bro, just, you know why people are in denial? It's because they have highly leveraged positions. They're about to get liquidated. They're long from the top. They're newer traders. They don't know what a stop loss is. The list goes on and on and on. Okay, so right now, like, over the past few years, we're gonna keep talking about this distribution phase. Over the past 2-3 years, we had an incredible run. Like, I don't know what people were talking about, man. Like when they said we didn't have a bull market. Maybe to not their definition of a bull market, which is a parabolic rally based off of 2017 and 2021, right? But market conditions change, man. You know, things fucking change. Just because you think that things are going to be like before, they're probably not, right? Things need to adapt. Things need to adapt, or otherwise you'll get left behind, right? You have to understand that the bull market's going to be forever changing. Just as an example, every year it's getting less and less parabolic, guys. And let me just give you a quick representation by chart, right? You can see it just by looking. You see a massive parabolic move on the week. Actually, let's use even better stuff too, or equivalent stuff. Let's use two of my favorites, the super trend indicator. Let's use an ATR of 2.5 instead though. Let's use 14 and 2.5. Now let's go with an ATR of 2. I'm not gonna. So this refers to the average true range, if you guys are familiar with that, right? And a multiplier of 2. This takes a period over 14 candles, okay? And all over the 14 candles, it takes the average true range, which is an indicator, okay? And it's taking that average true range multiplied by 2 to give you this red line, okay? That's the best way to explain it. And if this, it's kind of like an EMA on steroids, using different calculations, okay? And then the kernel is even more powerful than that. So if it's gonna break these patterns, right? If it in a bull market it goes green. Do you guys see it? It goes green. But do you see the kernel? It's stronger, right? It's stronger in my opinion, but it's good to use both. If there's a sell on the super trend, it means it dips below the kernel. But what you're gonna notice is in 2017, it's just like up, right? It's just up. Like it doesn't go down. Like there's no down. It just goes up, and then once it's done, it is done, right? But then if you take a look at the next bull market, is fucked. Like it's really fucked. So like we're talking about here, right? Another rally, it changes a lot, and then it goes up again, but then it turns red again, and then it breaks above the red, right? Turns green, and then it goes red again. So you can see that like this year is much crappier than that year. It's also much crappier than the years before that. Look how parabolic that one is. And then if you compare it to the most current year now, it's ugly. Look at this one. Green to red, green to red, green to red, green to red. But one thing we do know is this. It doesn't matter how we get to the bear market, we get there. It doesn't matter how we get to the top, we get there. But how we begin the bull market is super critical. And if you guys can take one thing away from you, okay, you're going to remember this, is that if both the super trend indicator and the weekly, okay, the weekly, on the weekly, the super trend and the kernel, if they both turn fucking green, like there, you fucking better buy. You better buy. This is not financial advice. This is just showing you in a very simple way. Like if I were to talk to my cat, who could understand probably, I would tell them that when these two red lines turn green, just buy and just hold it for a while. Okay, that's what I would say. Okay, just hold it for a while, right? Just hold it for a while. Maybe it's gonna turn red to green one more time, but don't worry, just hold it. Like it's all good. And then if it turns, for example, here, right, just green to red. See here, it's all red, and then it turns green to red, both of them. You might want to buy and just hold a little bit, especially if it's in December, right? You're gonna buy, especially if it's in December. You know what I mean? So you're gonna buy in this December, right? This is where the bottom was. This December, or close to around there. You're gonna buy around here, right? December, or sorry, around here. So around right there, this range, that's where it flipped again, right? So I think that it'd be very wise to pay attention somewhere between August and definitely November, Q3 late, Q4, right? So you're seeing these strong trends that are definitely going up. They're really clean moves, right? And like there are many times where you could have gone long anywhere and you would have been rewarded in the bull market, right? That's usually how it goes, right? But right now we're in a completely different phase, which is going to eventually lead to a distribution phase, right? And markets like that, they don't last forever, guys. And we already saw one distribution phase like here already, right there. And another one is likely to come, okay? And my guess is it's going to be on, like if I had to really guess now, before I was predicting it'd be on a small time frame, but I think it's going to be on a freaking huge time frame, because we have to respect the fact that this goes back about 5 years, right, guys? That's a 5-year support, man. So I think in this range, especially right now where we are, we're gonna get some of the biggest, ugliest chop that we've seen in a long time, guys. If I had to make a guess now, I really do believe that this one's gonna take a long time. Like, this one's probably gonna take a while. I think we're eventually gonna get to this lower zone, okay? We're eventually gonna like hit this lower zone, and I just think we're gonna make one pop. Like, I'm talking about a pop, like the biggest pop that we've seen, you know, down to this range, maybe even 30K. So I think that this whole range is gonna be an ugly distribution phase. People are gonna like think it's gonna like, okay, the best advice I could give myself and to you is, guys, like, you cannot trade this phase, man. You're gonna see 10 coins move 30%. No, not 10 coins, like 10 coins move over 10% for that day. Maybe 2 of them will be 20%, maybe 2 of them will be 30%, right? But then out of those 10 coins, 10 out of 10 of them will be low market cap, $20 million coins with either negative funding fee or very low volume, right? So it's gonna be ridiculous to trade some of those coins. Let me give you an example of absolute. I can fucking name 1,000 of these guys. Look at Rave. This just happened yesterday, guys. Look at what happened to. You want to trade that? You want to, like, that's wild. We're talking about one pump and dump group that has about $10 million to get it going. You know, like $10 million amongst a few thousand people. They'll just pump it up. You are going to be their exit liquidity like that. These pump and dumps groups, they exist everywhere in crypto. Man, I used to know one of the top guys that ran them. Like this guy Zeke back in the day, Zeke Echelon, right, back in 2017. I know exactly how they run. So he used to make a lot of money. He used to run like 3 pump and dumps a week. And he'd make like at least 200K. That's when I was kind of newer to crypto, like before the bull market. Do you guys remember Zeke Echelon? And then people associated me with him. And then they thought I was like scamming people or something. Like, dude, I don't know anything with that guy. And then it got even worse because he sent me like $15,000 randomly because he watched like a YouTube video of mine. And so he just sent it to me randomly because I had my address there. And then people are like, oh yeah, Zeke and him are working together because they tracked my address back in the days. Oh, crypto's crazy, man, back in the days. But anyways, that's what you don't want to trade, right, guys? So you want to avoid these kind of coins. If you look at today, like, look at that. Like, you wanna trade a coin like Bola that went up 56%. No, like, I don't see that. I don't see a coin that went up 56%. I see a coin that did that. That's what I see, right? This is now Bola. I just showed you Rave. You know, there's gonna be monster coins looking like that. I think the only reasonable coin to trade right now is ENSO, ENSO. Reasonable. And then, you know, you got coins like this guy here too, right? Like Bio, just fucking ridiculous coins. AGLD, all these coins are just spiking up and then just dropping significantly with really bad price action. So this is where like traders are gonna get destroyed because they're mainly thinking, oh, it's just a pullback, right? And then it's gonna break out, so they're gonna long these types of coins that they see, and they're like, oh, I really don't want to miss the next move. And then they're gonna believe this could be a 5 wave, and then it's gonna continue, right? That's the hypothesis of most people that lose money in right now, right? They're gonna try to long something, or they're taking just really bad trades. Like, I'm losing a little bit here and there because I'm just mainly, I think it's because I'm desperate to make trades, not necessarily chase the money, but more like I'm addicted to the process of trading, and I'm taking on riskier trades. Like, I catch myself, right? But I'm not losing enough to, like, you know, be homeless or anything like that, right? It's just kind of play money for now. But for you guys, right, this is where most people, like, they don't want to miss the next move, so they're going to try to long things. They're going to overtrade. They're going to force entries. They're going to revenge trade to try to make back the trade. And slowly, trade by trade, they give everything back that they made during the bull phase, or they're giving back They already gave back all of their wins a long time ago, and now they're giving basically their savings away, right? So for me, this is just not a time to be aggressive in any way, and neither should it be for you. This should be a time to be very patient, be selective, protect your capital, and only take very high probability setups. I'm not here to catch every move. Like Warren Buffett, I'm sure you guys know him. What he said is, like, they asked him one time in an interview, like 15 years ago, they asked him, like, why didn't you catch Google or YouTube, or Facebook or Amazon or any one of those, right? And you know what he said to them? He's like, I do admit that I didn't catch any of them, but it's not about having to catch them all. You see, I've caught so many already. It's just about needing to catch some of them, right? So I don't think we need to catch every single trade that comes up right now. So, this is why I'm building, like, the kernel is pretty useful, I have to admit, right? The kernel is very, very useful. That's what I'm kind of looking at a lot right now. I'll show you guys it very, very quickly. So here's where all the alerts are. Sorry, one sec. My Discord group is so many things in here. Okay, so this is where all the alerts are. So basically, just as an example, okay, so here's the 4 hours trending. If there's any candles that are trending 4 hours and up on every single coin, on 565 coins on Binance, it'll just pop up. If any coin is trending 1 hour, okay, on 1 hour candle, it pops up. If any coins are trending, for example, on the 30-minute time frame, over 12 hours, it's going to pop up. So let me give you an example. This one just popped up, okay? So if I go to this coin, AIAN, I'll show you what it's doing. Okay, so this guy here on the 30-minute time frame, on the 30-minute, 30-minute right there, you're going to see that this coin is going to be trending on it, right? When the kernel comes up here. So this is showing us, just let it load, it takes a second or two. So it's showing us right here, right? See right here? It's showing that's trending green now for about 12 hours. So what this means is there's a probability for it to keep trending above here, and your stop loss would be below that. So this coin has already moved up, for example, 11%. It's very quiet on the radar. So this kernel alert of mine is designed to detect breakouts, okay? That's on the 30-minute time frame. And then there's also the 4-hour time frame. So if I go look at power right now, it says the 4-hour kernel is trending over 4 days. So if I check out this coin right here, power, you're going to see that it's trending, right? So power on the 4 days. So this guy, but now it just broke. So now it just broke, okay? So this one here, it notified us right when that closed. So this one was trending for a while, right? So it told us the whole time. Actually, it was probably alerting us for a very long time. So you can see power being alerted for, like, yesterday on the 21st, it's just going, right? 21st, it was when it was first telling us. If you keep going back. So basically, like, if you look at this channel in my Discord group every day, you will find something trending eventually. So when I don't see a lot of coins trending, guys, like this, let's just say you wake up and you come here and you don't see anything, right? You're like, oh, there's like one alert every, there's one alert every, like, just one coin every 4 hours. Would that be a good market? No, it wouldn't be. You want to start trading in the market where everything is like lit up green, because then you're like a fat kid in a candy store, like, ooh, which candy am I gonna trade? So right now, like, I'll trade loosely whatever's here, but the truth is, like, I'm gonna trade only the high quality ones. But right now, what we're waiting for is we're waiting for that Bitcoin distribution phase. Okay, this next one. So if you guys are gonna have a system where you're over trading in this type of distribution phase because you think it's a rally and it's gonna go up and you're gonna hold long, you're gonna get fucked. Now, I apologize for swearing, right? So I'm not here to catch the garbage moves that are in between. I'm here to catch the clean moves. So like I mentioned, like, be patient, be selective, protect your capital, take only the high probability setups, and understand that during these distribution phases, okay, they're designed for you to be sold on and they're designed for shorts, major shorts to be entered and take advantage of all the newer retail traders where they think it's going up. So don't get mistaken during this distribution phase of a rally that's going to the upside. Okay, this is not a time to be buying. You know, it's going to be a time to just kind of chill, wait for the good trades. So going into the next few weeks, we'll really understand where we are in the cycle better. And this is a very difficult phase. This is like the discipline phase, okay? And the traders and investors who survive this phase are going to be the ones that are going to be left to take on the real big moves coming up in the future. So please protect your capital and stay patient, and don't let this market bait you into a bad trade right now. Okay, we've all been victim of it, right? We all are victims of it. I know a lot of the top traders in crypto, right? Naturally, because we all know each other. It's a small community, like Crypto Face, all those guys. We're all friends, and trust me when I say we're all having a bad time right now, and mistakes have been made. Sometimes we talk to each other and we're like, oh shit, I took a fucking bad trade. You hear things from other people sometimes. It's just the talk of the grapevine. This is the distribution phase. This is a 5-year support. Take it very, very seriously. Don't overtrade this range. Focus on high probability setups. Do not trade coins that have done something like that, okay? All right, guys, so I'm going to end the video short here. So once again, our job is to stay alert until the bull market comes. Do whatever you need to survive. Okay? Don't lose your hard-earned profits. Just chill right now. Okay, take care of yourselves physically, mentally. Prepare for the best that's yet to come. If you guys enjoy this type of video of mine, all you have to do to support me is just hit the like button, hit the thumbs up, and follow me on all social medias in the link below if you guys haven't already. If you guys want to get these types of updates very often, make sure you're joining my private Discord, education, and private trading group as well, where we try to find trades that we can, but you're going to get some of the best updates. You're going to know exactly when I enter these massive positions of mine. Other than that, guys, have a great day and have a great rest of the week. Bye now. Take care.